1 strike. Wind up in the 1-1 pitch. Beaten foul, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sappington has struck out 7. One and 2 the count to Natalie Ruth. Sappington, the windup and the pitch. Loop to center field. Maddox makes the catch to end the inning. Looked like trouble off the bat, but Maddox using her speed to track it down, and the inning is over. 2 hits in the inning for the Saints, and they leave 2. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning in Game 1. It's Tusculum 4, Limestone nothing on the Pioneer Sports Network. Off to the bottom of the 6th inning, Tusculum leading 4-0 here in Game 1. They've out-hit Limestone by an 8-4 margin, and Emily Sappington will lead off the bottom of the 6th inning against Haley White, who's gone all 5 innings for the Saints. She's allowed 4 runs on 8 hits, 4 strikeouts, and 1 walk. Sappington, Hughes, and Suits due up for the Pioneers here in the 6th. First pitch from White is inside low for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Emily Sappington. Whoa, 2 balls and no strikes. Two and 0 the count to Sappington. High, 3 balls and no strikes. Sappington has already been pinch run for once, so she cannot be substituted for a second time unless she's out of the game. So if she gets on, she'll have to run the bases. 3-0 green light, she fouls that one away, 3-1. Three-one pitch coming to Sappington. She fouls that one away down the left side over the Tusculum bullpen, 3-2. Three balls and 2 strikes to count to Sappington leading off the 6th. White with the windup and the 3-2 delivery. Called strike 3. So White comes back from 3-0 to get Sappington on strikes. Her 5th strikeout of the game, 1 down here in the 6th. And Hannah Hughes comes to the plate. Hughes has batted 1. She struck out in the 2nd. Smeltzer hit for her in the 4th and delivered an RBI single. White's first pitch. Back to White and on to first for the 2nd out. 1 pitch, 1 out. Now 2 down in the inning, and Alyssa Suits will come to the plate, the third baseman. White now at 100 pitches.
Third baseman, number 21, Alyssa Suits.
Suits had an RBI single in the second and popped up in the fourth. Suits digs in. First pitch, hit to third and into left field for a base hit. Suits is 2 for 3. And she's a 2-out base runner here in the 6th. And Coach Julie Hubner comes down with the lineup card, which means we're going to get a pinch hitter. It'll be Kaylee Higgins. So Higgins will bat for Bush with 2 outs. Higgins, the sophomore out of Rocky Face, Georgia.
Pinch hitting for the Pioneers, number 12, Motor Higgins.
Higgins, 3 for 14 at the plate, a .214 average with 2 runs batted in. And the first pitch to her, right back to White. Another comebacker, another out, and the inning is over. 2-out single and nothing else for the Pioneers in the 6th. We go to the 7th. It is Tusculum 4, Limestone nothing on the Pioneer Sports Network. We go to the top of the 7th inning. Tusculum leading by a score of 4-0. Emily Sappington looking for another shutout. She has thrown 4 shutouts this season. And she leads this one 4-0. She's scattered 4 hits. Enters the inning at 90 pitches. 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. And she'll have to get through the bottom third of the lineup. Callaway, Womack, and Baker due up as Callaway swings and misses at the first pitch. Callaway has walked and struck out and still won a base. Bush back in at second base for the Pioneers on defense, replacing Higgins. The 0-1 pitch. Called strike 2 on the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes the count to Faith Callaway. The windup, the 0-2 pitch. Back to the screen, still nothing in 2. Elsewhere on the SAC scoreboard, the finals, Carson Newman beat Wingate 5-4, and Anderson beat Newberry 10-0 in Game 1 of their doubleheaders. Games in progress we'll have for you here in a moment. The 0-2 pitch is outside 1-2. Lincoln Memorial leads Coker 15-0. They're in the 4th inning in Game 1 there. Mars Hill leading Queens 3-1 after 6 in Game 1. And Lenore Ryan leads Wise 5-0 in the 3rd at Wise. The 1-2 pitch from Sappington is in there for a called strike 3. She dropped that one in there for the strikeout. Gives Sappington 8 strikeouts in the game. 1 down here in the 7th. And we will have a pinch hitter for Womack, the center fielder. It'll be Ruthie Jackson. Jackson, the junior out of Mooresville, North Carolina.
Pinch hitting for the Saints, number 14, Ruthie Jackson.
She has started 17 games this season. She's a .306 hitter, a home run, 16 runs batted in. Jackson batting with 1 out here in the 7th. High, 1 ball and no strikes. One and 0 the count to Jackson. The 1-0 pitch. Low, 2 balls and no strikes. Two balls and no strikes the count to Ruthie Jackson. Fouled away, 2-1. Two balls and 1 strike the count to Jackson. Sappington's pitch is high, 3-1. 3 balls and 1 strike the count. I believe this will be pitch number 100. And it will be the 100th pitch for Sappington. And it's fouled away, 3-2. Three balls and 2 strikes the count to Jackson. So plate umpire Christian Cottle tracks down some more softballs. Three and 2. Jackson pinch hitting for Womack here in the 7th. The windup, the 3-2 pitch. Lined up the middle into center field. It's a base hit. So Jackson with the pinch single. 5th hit of the game for the Saints. She is a 1-out base runner here in the 7th. And we'll have probably a pinch runner, as likely Womack will re-enter the game to pinch run. And she does. So Womack back in the game. She's on at first. And it'll be Maddie Baker, the batter. Baker has struck out and sacrificed.
The shortstop, number 13, Maddie Baker.
So Baker batting with 1 out. Sappington's pitch is swing and a miss, strike 1. One strike the count to Maddie Baker. Top of the order on deck, Parnell. Off the plate, 1 ball and 1 strike. One and 1 the count to Baker. Foul tips, strike 2. 1 and 2 the count. One and 2 the count to Baker. Sappington's pitch off the plate, 2 and 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The windup, the 2-2 pitch. Fouled away. Lazo giving chase, but no play on that one. Still 2 and 2. Two balls, 2 strikes to Baker, the pitch. Swing and a foul tip. No. It's calling it a foul ball. We have an out. Or what's the call? Okay, so it's a foul tip. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yes, it was a foul tip. Freischmidt did not catch it, so it's still 2-2. High and away, 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes, the count to Maddie Baker. Low, ball 4. 2 on, 1 out. For Ashley Parnell, who has walked and grounded out twice. Wilbur, their top RBI getter, is on deck. And Coach Julie Hubner will want to talk with her infield. The tying run is not involved in this play. The tying run's on deck. But nobody needs to be a hero here. You just need to get 2 outs. Mars Hill 3, Queens 1, top of the 7th. Lincoln Memorial 17, Coker nothing in the 4th. And Wingate scored 2 on Carson Newman in the 1st. They lead 2-0 in Game 2. Newberry Anderson Game 2 is underway as well. And Lenore Ryan leads Wise 5-0 in the 4th in Game 1. Tusculum Baseball has tied it up with West Georgia. They're 2-2 in the 6th. So here's Parnell, batting .387. She's .469 hitter with runners on base. First pitch from Sappington is called strike. 1 strike the count to Ashley Parnell. The 0-1 pitch, high, off the glove of Freischmidt, and the runners will move up on the wild pitch. So runners at second and third. Still 1 out. Nothing's really changed. Limestone still needs to get a batter on base to have a chance. Good afternoon. On the campus of Tusculum University in Greenville, Tennessee for South Atlantic Conference softball action as the Pioneers take on the Limestone Saints in Game 2 of our doubleheader. Tusculum won the opener by a score of 4-1, and they'll send right-hander Ireland Kavanaugh to the circle for game number 2 to try and finish off this sweep of the Saints. We'll get the starting lineups for you here as they come up. Limestone's lineup will have Ashley Parnell leading off in left field. Katie Wilbur at second base bats second. Desiree Bain at first base hits third. Reagan Bristol, the catcher, bats fourth. Madison Chappell at third base hits fifth. Faye Lawson, the designated player, will bat sixth. Faith Calloway in right field hits seventh. Carly Womack in center field hits eighth. And Maddie Baker at shortstop bats ninth, with Caroline Ruth pitching game 2 for Limestone. For Tusculum in game 2, we'll have their lineup for you here in just a second as Kavanaugh's first pitch is taken low for a ball, 1-0. First pitch at 3:29. Parnell hitting .383 this season as she takes called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. We had sunshine to start game 1, and then it got cloudy. Weather still says mostly sunny, but I don't see it right now. 61 degrees. That we know for sure. The wind blowing out to right field at about 9 miles an hour. The next pitch is low. 2 balls and 1 strike to Parnell. Parnell was 1 for 3 in game 1, a walk and 3 groundouts. Parnell, a senior out of Star, South Carolina. Only senior on this Limestone team. She check swings the pitch and pops it up to third, and making the catch is Alyssa Suits for the first out. So Parnell didn't mean to, but she popped up to third for the first out.
Number 10, Katie Wilbur.
Tusculum's defensive alignment behind Kavanaugh. Callan Newport's in left, Maya Maddox in center, Madison McGinnis in right. Alyssa Suits at third base, Hannah Hughes at shortstop, Michaela Bush at second, Haley Lazo at first, and Chloe Freischmidt doing the catching, the same defensive alignment Tusculum had in Game 1. The first pitch to Katie Wilbur's inside for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Wilbur hitting .413, 5 home runs, 41 runs batted in. She was 2 for 3 in Game 1, including an RBI single in the 7th, but she hits a comebacker to Kavanaugh for the second out. We'll give you Kavanaugh's numbers this season for the Pioneers. Kavanaugh is making her 14th start of the season, 17th appearance overall. She's 8-4 with a 4.38 earned run average. 5 complete games and 1 shutout, 72 innings, 79 hits, 45 earned runs. She's walked 20, struck out 49. And opponents are hitting .271 against Ireland Kavanaugh, the sophomore out of Columbus, Georgia. Desiree Bain down in the count, 1 strike. Bain made the final out in Game 1. She was 0 for 4 in the opener, hitting at .308. This one's fouled away quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. Leonard Salyers calling the balls and strikes. Judy Dynel at first base again, and Christian Cottle at third base. You had the plate in Game 1. 0-2 the count to Bain. Kavanaugh's pitch is off the plate, 1 ball and 2 strikes. One and two the count to Bain. High, 2-2. Two and two the count to Bain. And that's taken for a ball, 3-2. Three balls and 2 strikes the count to Bain. Kavanaugh with 3-2 pitch. Sky to center field. Maddox to her right. And she makes the catch. And it's a 1-2-3 first inning for Ireland Kavanaugh. We head to the bottom of the first inning. It's Limestone 0. Tusculum coming to bat on the Pioneer Sports Network. We head to the bottom of the first inning. No score between Tusculum and Limestone here in Game 2 of our doubleheader. Tusculum's lineup for Game 2, Maya Maddox will lead off in center field. Callan Newport, the left fielder, will hit second. Haley Lazo at first base hits third. Chloe Freischmidt catches and bats fourth. Anna Alloway, the designated player, hitting fifth. Alyssa Suits at third base bats sixth. Hannah Hughes, the shortstop, hits seventh. Madison McGinnis in right field hitting eighth. And Michaela Bush at second base hits ninth. They will face right-hander Caroline Ruth. Ruth, junior 5'10", out of Waxhaw, North Carolina. Ruth making her 8th start of the season, 18th appearance overall. She is 6-2 with a 2.58 earned run average, 59 2/3 innings, 53 hits, 22 earned runs, 21 walks, 47 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .235 against Caroline Ruth. Maya Maddox will lead it off for the Pioneers here in the bottom half of the first inning. Maddox was 1 for 3 in Game 1 with a stolen base and a run scored. And she takes that one outside for a ball, 1-0. Maddox hitting .385. No home runs, 11 runs batted in. The senior out of Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. 1-0 pitch. Off the plate. Oh, no, called strike, 1-1. Get used to the strike call by our home plate umpire. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Butted foul, 1-2. One ball, two strikes, the count to Maya Maddox leading off the bottom of the first inning. Wind up the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. One down here in the first, and the left fielder, Callan Newport, will come to the plate. Newport in game one was 0 for 3. A junior out of Seymour, Tennessee. Batting at .325, no home runs and 9 RBIs, and she's down to the count, 1 strike. Every other game in South Atlantic, every other doubleheader in the South Atlantic Conference is underway in game two, with the exception of Lenore Ryan and UVA Wise, who are still playing game one. They started an hour later than everybody else. That one's fouled away, 0-2. LR leads that one 5-0 in the bottom of the 7th at UVA Wise. Games from earlier, game one's Carson Newman beat Wingate 5-4. Mars Hill beat Queens 3-2. Lincoln Memorial 18, Coker 2, and Anderson beat Newberry 10-0. We'll get you the updates on game two of those games in a moment. The 0-2 pitch from Ruth is high, 1-2. Carson Newman leads Wingate 6-4 in the 4th inning in game two of their doubleheader. Newberry and Anderson 1-1 after 4. Queens leads Mars Hill 1-0 in the top of the first. Coker and Lincoln Memorial just underway. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count here to Newport. Wind up in the 1-2 pitch. Chopper down the first baseline. It is going to be played in foul territory by Bain. Tusculum baseball team is playing at West Georgia this afternoon, game one of a doubleheader, and West Georgia has just taken a 4-3 lead in the bottom of the 8th inning. 1-2 pitch is wide, 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes to count to Newport. The pitch. Inside, 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count to Newport. Ruth with the windup. 3-2 pitch. Outside, ball 4. Newport draws a 1-out walk. And that'll bring Haley Lazo to the plate. Lazo in game one was 1 for 3 with an RBI. She had an RBI single in the 5th inning and later scored a run, which made it a 4-0 Tusculum lead at the time. Lazo hitting .304, no home runs, and 12 runs batted in. First pitch from Ruth is outside, 1 ball and no strikes. One ball and no strikes to count to Lazo. Shows bunt, takes a ball, throw to second, not in time, stolen base for Newport. Her 11th stolen base of the season. And she's in scoring position with 1 out. Two 2-0 the count to Haley Lazo. Line up the 2-0 pitch. Inside corner, strike 1. Two and 1 the count to Lazo. a junior out of Port Orange, Florida. That is inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Three and 1 the count to Lazo. Ruth's pitch. Inside, ball 4. And Lazo draws the walk. And she's on at first. Back-to-back walks by Newport and Lazo. And Chloe Freischmidt bats with 2 on and 1 out. Freischmidt had a big game in game number 1. She was 3 for 3 with 2 singles and a double. She knocked in a run, scored a run. Now hitting .309. The first pitch to her is inside corner, called strike. Freischmidt, the senior out of Naples, Florida. So Ruth has issued back-to-back walks. The 0-1 pitch is high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Ruth had walked 21 batters in 59 2/3 innings coming in to this game. And now her catcher Reagan Bristol out to have a discussion. The 1-1 count. One ball, 1 strike to count to Chloe Freischmidt. Launched foul. She got out in front of that one. Out of play, 1 ball and 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes to count to Freischmidt. High, 2-2. Two and 2 the count to Freischmidt. Line up and the pitch. Off her knee. And she'll hobble down to first base. Freischmidt hit for the 4th time this season. Alloway was 0 for 2 in game 1 with a run scored. Batting .362. And that is low and in, 1 ball and no strikes. Alloway, 4 home runs, 28 runs batted in for the grad student out of Louisville, Tennessee. 1 ball, 1 strike the count to Alloway. The wind and the 1-1 pitch. Hit towards center field. Womack going back, and she has it lined up, makes the catch. Runners tag from 2nd and 3rd. In to score is Newport. On to 3rd base goes Lazo. It's a sacrifice fly RBI for Anna Alloway. And Tusculum takes a 1-0 lead. So Alloway, her 29th RBI of the season. That leaves runners at the corners.
The 3rd baseman, number 21, Alyssa Suits.
Alyssa Suits, the 3rd baseman, comes to the plate. Suits, the freshman out of Jonesboro, David Crockett High School. 2 for 3 in game 1 with an RBI. Suits now batting .235. The home run and 6 runs batted in. Swing and a miss, strike 1. 1 strike to count to Suits. Ruth with the windup, the 0-1 pitch. Low and in, 1 ball, 1 strike. One and 1 the count to Alyssa Suits. Ruth's 1-1 pitch. Launched towards center field. Womack going back, still on the run. She makes the catch on the run for the third out. Nice play in center field there by Carly Womack, robbing Suits of extra bases. Tusculum gets a run without a hit, and they leave two. At the end of one, it's Tusculum 1, Limestone nothing on the Pioneer Sports Network. Top of the second inning, 1-0 Tusculum.
The catcher, number 16.
Limestone will send the middle part of the order to the plate here in the second. Reagan Bristol, the catcher, will lead it off. Bristol was 2 for 3 in game one, including a double. She's now batting .326 for the season, 2 home runs, 15 runs batted in. Bristol, a freshman out of Boiling Springs, South Carolina. Ireland Kavanaugh's first pitch is a swing and a miss, strike one. Bristol, Chappell, and Lawson in the second. High, 1 ball, 1 strike. Lenore Ryan does the Pioneers a favor. They beat UVA Wise 5-0 in game one of that doubleheader. So everything's done for the game ones. 1-1 pitch is hit foul, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Game twos of doubleheaders, Carson Newman leads Wingate 7-4 after 4 innings. They look for the sweep there. Newberry has a 2-1 lead on Anderson in the top of the 5th. Queens leads Mars Hill 4-0 in the first. Coker at LMU still scoreless. 1-2 the count to Bristol. High, Bristol holds her swing, 2-2. So those results, generally good news for the Pioneers. As Tusculum now 8-7 in the conference, tied with Queens. They move ahead of UVA Wise. Called strike 3. Bristol down looking for the first out. First strikeout for Kavanaugh.
The third baseman, number 92, Madison Chappell.
Madison Chappell, the third baseman, comes to the plate. Chappell was 0 for 3 in game one with a strikeout. She's batting .240 for the season. 2 home runs, 6 runs batted in. Kavanaugh's pitch. Taken for a ball, 1-0. The windup, the 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 the count to Chappell. 2-0 pitch. Fouled away, 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike the count to Madison Chappell. Two-one pitch. Fouled away, 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Chappell. The pitch. Hit in the hole. It's a base hit to left field. So Chappell hits it between third and short for the base hit. First base runner of the game for the Saints. And Chappell's a 1-out base runner for the designated player, Faye Lawson. Lawson making her first appearance of the doubleheader. She's a sophomore out of King, North Carolina. And she's making her 12th start of the season. A .333 hitter, a home run, 8 runs batted in. First pitch from Kavanaugh is a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Wind up the 1-0 pitch. Called strike, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike the count. Kavanaugh's pitch is hit foul down the left side. One ball and 2 strikes to count to Lawson. One-two pitch, swing and a miss at the changeup. Second strikeout for Kavanaugh, both here in the second, 2 down. And the right fielder, Faith Calloway, will bat.
The right fielder, number 8, Faith Calloway.
Calloway was 0 for 2 officially in game 1. She walked and stole a base and then struck out twice. First pitch from Kavanaugh is a called strike. One strike to count. To Calloway. High, 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike to count to Calloway. Kavanaugh's pitch, check swing, and it's called strike, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3 as Kavanaugh strikes out the side around the single by Chappell. We go to the bottom of the second inning. It is Tusculum 1, Limestone nothing on the Pioneer Sports Network. Bottom of the second inning, Tusculum leading Limestone by a score of 1-0 here in game 2 of our doubleheader.
Number 11, Hannah Hughes.
Hannah Hughes, the shortstop, will lead it off for the Pioneers here in the second inning. Hughes in game 1 was 0 for 2 with a strikeout. She's batting .268, 2 home runs, 10 runs batted in. Facing Caroline Ruth, who gave up a run on 2 walks in the first inning. First pitch is up and away for a ball, 1-0. Hughes, McGinnis, Bush for the Pioneers here in the second. 1-0 pitch. Up and in, 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 the count to Hannah Hughes. Two balls and no strikes to Hughes. High, 3 balls and no strikes. Three and 0 the count to Hughes. The 3-0 pitch. Called strike. 3-1. 3 balls and 1 strike the count to Hannah Hughes. Inside, ball 4. Third walk issued by Ruth, who's also hit a batter. So the Pioneers like free bases, and they've gotten 4 of them so far. And Madison McGinnis will bat for the first time in this doubleheader. McGinnis 0 for 5 at the plate this season, making her 8th start of the year. She has scored 13 runs as a pinch runner and stolen 4 bases. And she bunts foul as it was played in foul territory by the third baseman Chappell. 1 strike. One strike the count to Madison McGinnis, the sophomore out of Knoxville. Hughes, the runner at first base, has not attempted a stolen base this season. Ruth's 0-1 pitch shows bunt, pops it up, and caught by Bristol behind the plate. So McGinnis out on the foul bunt. 1 down here in the second. And Michaela Bush will come to the plate. Bush was 0 for 2 in game 1. Still looking for her first hit of the season, 0 for 5. As she is making her 4th consecutive start. Pitch is a called strike. Snap throw to first. Back safely is Hughes. One strike the count to Michaela Bush. Coach Hubner questioning the strike call. The 0-1 pitch. High, 1 ball, 1 strike. One and 1 the count to Bush. Bunt, popped foul. 1 and 2. Softball scoreboard update. Carson Newman leads Wingate 7-6, bottom of the 5th at Carson Newman. Newberry leads Anderson 3-1, bottom of the 5th at Anderson. Coker and Lincoln Memorial, bottom of the 1st, no score there. Queens and Mars Hill each scored 4 runs in the 1st inning. They're tied 4-4 after 1 in game 2. The 1-2 pitch. High, 2-2. All those doubleheaders in game 2. The home team winning everything today except for Lenore Ryan winning at Wise game 1 of their doubleheader 5-0. Tusculum winning game 1 here 4-1. 2-2 pitches outside, 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes to count to Michaela Bush. Wind up and the 3-2 pitch. Inside corner called strike 3. Bush out on strike, second strikeout for Ruth. 2 outs here in the second, and Maya Maddox will bat. Maddox was the first strikeout victim in the first inning.
Center fielder number 1, Maya Maddox.
First pitch to Maddox. Watches the ball outside. One ball and no strikes to count to Maya Maddox. 1-0 pitch. Outside a pitch out. Nothing on. 2 balls and no strikes. Again, Hughes has not attempted a stolen base all season. Two balls and no strikes to count. The pitch. Called strike, 2-1. Tusculum baseball trying to rally. They're down 6-5 in the 9th inning. They've scored 2 runs with 2 outs. They have the tying run at third base against West Georgia. The 2-1 pitch is bunted at foul, 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Maya Maddox. Ruth with the 2-2 delivery. Fouled out of the glove of the catcher, Bristol. Ruth already up to 45 pitches here in the second inning. Limestone does have some bullpen options. If they so choose. This one is hit in the hole on the right side, and it will be a base hit. As Hughes moves up to second, and Maddox is on at first with a base hit. First hit for the Pioneers. And Callan Newport will bat. Newport walked, stole a base, and scored a run in the first. So Tusculum with 2 on and 2 out here in the second, leading 1-0. Now Newport stands in to face Ruth. First pitch. Launched to left field. It's foul. Put a good swing on it. 1 strike. One strike to count to Callan Newport. Hughes at second, Maddox at first. 0-1 pitch. Low, 1 ball, 1 strike. One to 1 the count to Newport. Ruth's pitch, fouled away, 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes to count to Newport. One ball and 2 strikes to count to Newport. Low, 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes to count to Newport. Ruth's 2-2 delivery. Hit foul to left field. Still 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes the count to Callan Newport. And we're back to play as the second baseman Wilbur needed a little help over there. 2-2 the count. The windup, the 2-2 pitch. Low and in, 3-2. Three and two. The runners will be off. The pitch bounced up the middle. Baker is going to be late to second. Everybody's safe. Coming home to the plate. The slide and out at home plate is Hughes. It'll be an infield single for Newport, and Hughes out at the plate 6-2. And we're gonna have a discussion first. I don't know what the discussion is going to be about. Whether she was blocking the plate. So let's see here before we. It's an out. The inning is over. So Tusculum turned aside here in the second. They'll leave 2 on base. We head to the third. It's Tusculum 1, Limestone nothing on the Pioneer Sports Network. Top of the third inning, Tusculum leading Limestone 1-0 as the Pioneers couldn't get that run home in the second. Newport safe on the fielder's choice, and then Hughes out at the plate. We have a little bit of a delay here as Hughes is getting some treatment after sliding into home plate. Tusculum baseball losing 6-5 in game 1 of their doubleheader at West Georgia. They'll have the second game coming up. Tusculum Beach Volleyball picked up a couple wins today. They beat Lincoln Memorial 4-1, and Erskine, they beat them 3-2. Yeah, it looks like we're ready to go back to action here as we head to the top of the third inning.
The center fielder, number 2, Carly Womack.
And Carly Womack, the center fielder, will lead off the third inning. Womack was 1 for 2 in game 1. She scored the run in the 7th inning. First pitch from Kavanaugh is a called strike. Kavanaugh's allowed a single and retired the other 6 batters. Womack hitting and that pitch is bunted foul. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Womack. Up and away, 1-2. 1-2 the count. Hit to third, Suits on the run, throws in time for the out. Nice play by Alyssa Suits at third base, and Womack is retired for the first out of the third. And Maddie Baker, the shortstop, will come to the plate.
Shortstop, number 13. Maddie Baker.
Baker was 0 for 1 in game 1. She walked and sacrificed and struck out. And she takes called strike. Baker hitting .360. No home runs and 11 runs batted in. Kavanaugh is swinging and a miss, 0-2 on Baker. Baker, the freshman out of Lancaster, South Carolina. The 0-2 pitch is taken for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Baker. The 1-2 is low, 2-2. Wind up the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 4th strikeout for Ireland Kavanaugh, 2 outs here in the third.
The left fielder, number 6.
And back around to the top, the order of the left fielder, Ashley Parnell. Parnell fouled out to third base on a check swing her first time up. First pitch is high, 1 ball and no strikes. Want to know the count to Parnell. Low, 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0 pitch is low, 3 balls and no strikes. Three balls and no strikes the count to Ashley Parnell. 3-0 is a strike, 3-1. And 3-1 is ball 4. Tusculum infield felt differently, but it's ball 4. First walk issued by Kavanaugh. Parnell, a 2-out base runner. For Katie Wilbur. Wilbur grounded back to the circle her first time up. Wilbur hitting .410. And the first pitch to her is popped up. Shallow right field. Bush on the edge of the grass makes the catch, and the inning is over. 2-out walk, and that's all for Limestone in the third. We head to the bottom of the third inning. It is Tusculum 1, Limestone nothing on the Pioneer Sports Network. Bottom of the third inning, Tusculum leading Limestone 1-0. Glad you could join us for this doubleheader on the Pioneer Sports Network. Jim Miller with you, our producer this afternoon, Aaron Fudge. Tusculum won the opener 4-1. They lead game 2 1-0, and Haley Lazo will lead off the bottom of the third inning. Lazo drew a walk her first time up. Caroline Ruth has walked 3 and hit a batter. She struck out 2 and allowed 1 run. First pitch to Lazo is popped up foul out of play. Lazo hitting .304. Lazo, Freischmidt, Alloway for the Pioneers here in the third. Nothing to 1 the count to Haley Lazo. The windup and the pitch. Lined off the pitcher, Ruth. Goes to the second baseman, Wilbur. On to first, not in time. That'll be a base hit for Lazo. Lazo making sure that Wilbur's okay. Or that Ruth is okay, and she is. Kind of caught her on the arm. And Chloe Freischmidt stands in. Freischmidt was hit by a pitcher first time up. She's reached base safely in all 4 at-bats in this doubleheader. First pitch, Freischmidt shows bunt, bunts it foul. One strike the count to Freischmidt. Tusculum having some trouble laying down bunts here in this one. Swinging away this time and fouling it towards Alloway, who has to dodge that foul ball in the on-deck circle and winds up sitting down in the on-deck circle. 0-2 the count to Freischmidt. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Third strikeout for Ruth, 1 out in the third. Anna Alloway comes to the plate. Alloway hit a sacrifice fly to knock in the only run of the game back in the first. Alloway, her 29th run batted in the season. The first pitch to her. Low, 1 ball and no strikes. One ball and no strikes to count to Alloway. Pitch. Low and away, 2 balls and no strikes. Wind up in the 2-0 pitch. Inside, 3 balls and no strikes. Three and 0. That's high ball. No, a called strike. As Lazo steals the base because she thought it was ball 4. Lazo gets a stolen base. A bizarre play there as the pitch was high and it was called a strike. Lazo was already on her way to second on what she thought was ball 4, and she makes it to second base. Her first stolen base of the season. 3-1 the count to Alloway. That is launched foul, 3-2. Lazo not renowned for her base stealing. In fact, that's the first stolen base of her career. That's the first time she's even attempted a stolen base. She is not a base runner, a base stealer, but she is there as she showed the wheels. 3-2 to Alloway. The pitch. Hit towards second. Wilbur goes down, fields it, throws on to first for the out, and speeds her Lazo over to third. 2 outs. And Alyssa Suits will come to the plate.
Number 21, Alyssa Suits.
Alyssa Suits flied out to center her first time up. Suits batting with Lazo at third and 2 outs. Inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Ruth with the 1-0 delivery. Popped up behind third and over into foul territory to make the catch for the out is shortstop Baker. Leadoff single for the Pioneers, and that's all in the third. We go to the top of the fourth. It is Tusculum 1 and Limestone nothing on the Pioneer Sports Network. Top of the fourth inning here in game 2. Tusculum leading Limestone by a score of 1-0. Pioneers have had some scoring chances in this game, but have managed just the 1 run so far. Meanwhile, Ireland Kavanaugh has retired 9 of the 11 batters she's faced with 4 strikeouts. Desiree Bain will lead it off for the Saints here in the top of the fourth inning. She flied out to center her first time up. And the first pitch from Kavanaugh is a called strike. One strike the count to Bain. Pop foul out of play. Nothing in 2 the count to Bain. The 0-2 pitch. High. Next pitch is off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Desiree Bain. Two from Kavanaugh is off the plate, 3-2. Three and two the count to Bain. The pitch popped up behind first. Bush calling for it, and she'll make the catch on the run. For the first out.
pitcher, number 16.
Reagan Bristol, the catcher, will bat. Bristol has been called out on strikes in her only plate appearance. First pitch is a ball. One ball, no strikes, the count to Bristol. The next pitch is inside, 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0 pitch is low and away, 3 balls and no strikes. Three and 0 the count. Kavanaugh with the 3-0 delivery, low and in, ball 4. Second walk issued by Kavanaugh. Bristol is a 1-out base runner. And that'll bring Madison Chappell, the third baseman, to the plate. Chappell singled her first time up. First pitch coming from Kavanaugh is a called strike. One strike the count to Chappell. The next pitch is low, 2 balls, or 1 ball, 1 strike. And Tusculum coach Julie Hubner quickly out of the dugout. She'll have a discussion with the infield. We'll give us a chance to update you on the South Atlantic Conference softball scoreboard. Carson Newman leads Wingate 11-6 in the 6th inning in Game 2. They are looking for the sweep. Newberry leads Anderson 3-2 top of the 7th in Game 2. Newberry trying to split that doubleheader. Mars Hill leads Queens 5-4 in the 4th inning in Game 2. Mars Hill won the opener. And Lincoln Memorial leads Coker 7-0 in the 2nd inning in Game 2 as they try and finish off the emphatic sweep. Tusculum women's lacrosse playing at Queens today, #1 team in the country. Tusculum had a 1-0 lead, and that's about all we need to say about that one. So Chappell bats with a 1 ball, 1 strike count. It's 13-1, so there you go. 1 ball, 1 strike the count with Bristol on at first base. Kavanaugh's pitch is a called strike, 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to Madison Chappell. Kavanaugh with the 1-2 pitch. Beaten foul. Still 1-2. Kavanaugh coming up on 60 pitches here in this 4th inning. The 1-2 pitch popped up. It's out of play. Still 1-2. Kavanaugh's 1-2 pitch, change up, and it is fouled away to the right side. One ball, 2 strikes to count to Chappell. One-two pitch. Hit to center field. Maddox drifts in, makes the catch for the out. Chappell out on a fly ball to center. 2 down here in the 4th.
The DP, number 31, Faye Lawson.
Faye Lawson, the designated player, will bat. Lawson struck out her first time up. First pitch to Lawson is taken low for a ball. Lawson batted right-handed her first time up, and now she's batting left-handed. One 1-0 pitch. Swinging a foul tip, 1-1. One ball, one strike to count. We'll get a replacement ball. 1-1 the count. Wind up in the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at the changeup. 1-2. One ball and two strikes to count to Lawson. See if she comes back with it. Nope, popped up foul out of play. Still one ball and two strikes. Kavanaugh's 1-2 pitch. There's the changeup right back to Kavanaugh. On to first for the out, and the inning is over. A walk, and that's all for Limestone in the fourth. We're halfway home in game two. It's Tusculum 1, Limestone nothing on the Pioneer Sports Network. Bottom of the fourth inning here at Red Edmonds Field. Tusculum leading by a score of 1-0. It'll be Hughes, McGinnis, and Bush due up for the Pioneers here in the fourth. Hannah Hughes, the shortstop, leads it off. Hughes walked her first time up, and then she was cut down at the plate to end the inning. Facing Caroline Ruth, who has thrown 66 pitches in 3 innings, given up a run on 2 hits with 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Hughes fouls that one away, 1 strike. Hughes hitting .268. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Claire Smeltzer is now in the on-deck circle to bat for McGinnis. We saw Smeltzer bat in game 1, and she delivered an RBI single, which gave Tusculum a 2-0 lead at the time. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a foul back to the screen, still 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Bounced to third, off the glove of the third baseman Chappell and into left field for a base hit. There's a high chopper. Chappell reached up as high as she could, couldn't make the play. It's a base hit for Hughes. Third hit of the game for the Pioneers. And now we'll have a different pinch hitter It was going to be Smeltzer if nobody was on base, but instead, it'll be Kaylee Higgins, who we also saw in Game 1 in a pinch hitting role. Now Coach Hubner will talk to her assistant, Eric Krentz, to get squared away on what they want to do here. So Higgins will bat for McGinnis. I think they're discussing who's going to bat next. Bush is due up after the McGinnis spot in the lineup. Let's see if they send up a pinch hitter. They will. Smeltzer's back in the on-deck circle to bat for Bush when her spot comes up. First pitch coming to Higgins. She shows bunt and bunts it foul. Tusculum just unable to get the bunts down here. One strike, the count to Higgins. Carson Newman has beaten Wingate. They run ruled him 14-6. Game 2 of that doubleheader. Bunted, foul again. As Chappell made the play and threw on to first, but it was called a foul. So Carson Newman sweeps the doubleheader from Wingate. Wingate all of a sudden now 6-6 in the conference. Carson Newman now 8-6. Tusculum hosts Carson Newman April 12th. Ruth with the 0-2 delivery. Popped foul out of play. Higgins this season at the plate, a 200 hitter. She is 3 for 15. Wind up by Ruth in the 0-2 delivery. Fouled back to the screen, still 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes, the count to Kaylee Higgins. Outside 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes, the count. The pitch. Outside 2-2. Wind up and the 2-2. High 3-2. So Higgins has worked a full count. Three and 2 the count. Ruth's pitch. Called strike 3 after Higgins had tossed the bat to head to first base. One down. And Claire Smeltzer will pinch hit. Second straight pinch hitter deployed by the Pioneers. Smeltzer came through with a base hit in Game 1, knocked in a run. As Coach Hubner delivers the substitution to our home plate umpire and probably a commentary or two. Smeltzer batting here with one out, and she skies this one foul down the right side. Giving chase is the right fielder Callaway, and it's just out of her reach.
Batting for the Pioneers, number 20,
1 strike. One strike to count to Smeltzer, the sophomore out of Smithfield, Virginia. Carson Newman wins that game 14-6 in 6 innings. They had 19 hits in the game. So they sweep the doubleheader. Carson Newman now 8-6 in the conference. Wingate drops to 6-6 in the conference. Pioneers can pass them with a victory. The 0-1 pitch. It's a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Claire Smeltzer. Now we're having a discussion here. I think what happened is that the pitch was a check swing, and they asked for an appeal, and the base umpire gave no response. And Limestone said, we asked for an appeal, and we didn't get one. And let's see what they call it. 1 ball, 1 strike, and now the coaches are having a powwow here to commiserate over their shared misery. Anderson's beaten Newberry 5-3. It must have been a walk-off home run. Hey, what do you know? Kaysen Boatner hit a walk-off home run. 2 home runs today. She had about 15 home runs this week. So Anderson sweeps the doubleheader from Newberry. They go to 12-2 in the conference. Newberry drops to 9-7. So Tusculum can tie Newberry in the standings with a win. 2-1 pitch is golfed foul down the right side. It's out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Smeltzer. The 2-2 pitch coming from Ruth. Popped up towards second. Making the catch at second base is Wilbur for the out. The Smeltzer's out on a pop-up for the second out. And Maya Maddox will bat with 2 outs. Maddox has struck out and singled.
Center fielder number 1, Maya Maddox.
First pitch to Maddox is popped up in the infield, and making the basket catch is Chappell for the 3rd out. So Maddox out on a pop-up. Pioneers get a hit, and they leave 1. We're through 4. It's Tusculum 1, Limestone nothing on the Pioneer Sports Network. Top of the 5th inning, Tusculum leading 1-0 over Limestone. Tusculum will run on 3 hits. They've left 6. Limestone, no runs, 1 hit. And leading off for the Saints will be Faith Calloway, the right fielder. She struck out her first time up against Ireland Kavanaugh, who has allowed 1 hit, walked 2, struck out 4 in 4 innings of work. Kavanaugh ready to go. The first pitch is bunted, and the 0-1 pitch is high. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike the count to Callaway. Kavanaugh's pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. One and 2 the count to Callaway. Fouled away. Queens leads Mars Hill 6-5 in the 4th inning in Game 2. Mars Hill won the opener. Lincoln Memorial 10, Coker nothing in the 3rd. LMU won Game 1 in there as well. And the other game that's to be played is LR and UVA Wise. That pitch is low and in, 2-2. And they have started. They're in the bottom of the 2nd inning, and Wise leads LR 1-0. 2-2 the count to Callaway. The pitch, swing and a miss, and a high fastball. Second time Callaway has struck out. 5th strikeout for Ireland Kavanaugh, 1 out here in the 5th. Carly Womack, the center fielder, will come to the plate. Womack grounded out her only at bat. Tusculum men's tennis also winning today. They beat Catawba 7-0. First pitch from Kavanaugh, showing bunt, taking strike. One strike the count to Carly Womack. Called strike, 1-0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Womack. Kavanaugh's pitch, chopped foul. Still 0-2 the count to Carly Womack. The pitch does not offer at it on the changeup, 1-2. One, two, low, 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes the count to Womack. Kavanaugh's pitch. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Womack. Back-to-back strikeouts for Kavanaugh. She has struck out 6, and there's 2 down here in the 5th. And with 2 outs, it will be the shortstop, Maddie Baker. Baker struck out her first time up. Kavanaugh's first pitch. Swing and a miss. One strike the count to Baker. Next pitch is popped up foul. Suits gives it a look, but it's out of play. Kavanaugh is 3-0 in her last 5 starts. The last complete game was against Catawba on March the 23rd, a 7-1 victory. She struck out 3 that day. Her 6 strikeouts today are 2 shy of her season high of 8, which she had against Converse back on March the 1st. The 0-2 pitch hit her. Or no, is inside. I thought she ducked away like it might have hit her, but it did not. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 the count to Baker. That's outside, 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes the count to Maddie Baker. Popped, out of play. Two and 2 the count to Maddie Baker. The windup and the 2-2. Popped up behind second. Hughes calls for it, makes the catch, and the inning is over. A 1-2-3 inning for Ireland Cavanaugh in the fifth. We go to the bottom of the fifth. It's Tusculum 1, Limestone nothing on the Pioneer Sports Network. Bottom of the fifth inning, Tusculum leading Limestone 1-0. Tusculum getting their run in the bottom of the first inning on a sacrifice fly by Anna Alloway. They've had base runners in every inning, just have not been able to push across any additional runs against Caroline Ruth. Callan Newport leads it off for the Pioneers here in the bottom of the fifth. Shows bunt, offers at it, strike one. Newport has walked, stolen a base, and scored the run, and she's also hit into a fielder's choice. On that play, Hughes tried to score from second on a grounder to short and was cut down at the plate to end the inning. 0-1 pitch to Newport. It's pop foul, 0-2. The lights are now on here at Red Edmonds Field. This has been cloudy and overcast this afternoon, and doesn't look like the sun's going to break out anymore today, so give some artificial illumination to help us out here over the last 2.5 innings. 0-2 the count to Newport. Ruth's pitch is upstairs, and she chases it for strike three. Fifth strikeout for Ruth. One down in the fifth. And Haley Lazo comes to the plate. Lazo has reached twice. She walked and singled and stole a base on a pitch that she thought was ball four, that everybody thought was ball four. And she was off to second base and wound up making it, and it's a stolen base. First pitch to Lazo. High, 1 ball and no strikes. The windup and the 1-0 pitch. Hit foul, left side. 1 ball, 1 strike. One 1 the count to Lazo. High, 2-1. Two balls and 1 strike, the count to Haley Lazo. Ruth's pitch popped up. It's going to be out of play. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count to Lazo. Wind up the 2-2 pitch. Hit to right field. Callaway drifting towards the line. She is in foul territory and makes the catch. 2 down here in the 5th.
Catcher number 14, Chloe Freischman.
Chloe Freischmidt will bat with 2 outs. She's been hit by a pitch and struck out. Freischmidt, first pitch to her is a called strike. The windup in the 0-1 pitch. Right back to Ruth on to first. And it's a 1-2-3 inning, the first time the Pioneers have been retired in order in this game. We are through 5 innings. It's Tusculum 1, Limestone nothing on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Left fielder number 6.
Top of the 6th inning. It's top of the order for Limestone. Ashley Parnell will lead it off for the Saints. They trail 1-0. Ireland Kavanaugh has thrown 5 scoreless innings so far. First pitch from Kavanaugh shows bunt, takes strike. One strike to count to Parnell. Line towards center field. Maddox can't make the catch, and it falls into play and goes all the way to the fence. Parnell rounding second, on her way to third, and she will have a sliding triple. And the throw gets away, and coming in to score is Parnell, and we're tied at 1. Unbelievable. She was already there at third base when the throw came in. It's going to be a throwing error. We'll see who the error was on the relay throw. In any case, we're tied at 1. Tough break for the Pioneers, as Maddox couldn't make the catch. And it'll be an error on the second baseman Bush on the throw that allows her to score. So a triple and an error. We're tied at 1. This one is fouled away. 1 strike to Katie Wilbur.
Second baseman number 10, Katie Wilbur.
So it's a 1-1 game here in the 6th. Kavanaugh with the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Kavanaugh up to 90 pitches now. Run is unearned for the time being. We'll see how the rest of the inning plays out. 0-2 pitch. Line to second. Nice grab by Bush. And on to first for the out. And the catch was on the line drive. So one down here in the 6th. And Tusculum coach Julie Huebner coming out. The base umpire pointed at second base and called the out. So it was a line drive catch. She probably wasn't sure that she held on to it. So one down here in the 6th. We'll have a discussion before Bain comes to the plate. So the discussion is over. And we're back to play here. Bain is fly to center and also popped up to second, and she swings and misses the first pitch. The 0-1 pitch. Back up the middle into center field, a base hit. So Bain has a single. That'll make that run earned. As assume that that would have knocked in the run. So Bristol, the catcher, will bat, and we're going to have a pinch runner. Pinch runner for Bain at first base. Both teams now have 3 hits in the game. We'll see what the substitution is. We'll see if they give us the substitution. The runner at first base, as we were able to deduce from the looking out there rather than being informed, is Jalen Adkins, who ran in game 1. And that's a called strike. Adkins also ran in the top of the 6th inning for Bain in the opener. 1 strike to count to Bristol. Line foul. No balls and 2 strikes. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Reagan Bristol. Kavanaugh's pitch is outside 1-2. 1-1 here in the top of the 6th inning in game 2 of our doubleheader. Outside, 2-2, snap throw. Adkins back safely. Two balls and 2 strikes to count to Reagan Bristol. And that's inside low, 3-2. Three balls and 2 strikes. Kavanaugh with the payoff pitch. Hit to left field. Newport drifting towards the line, and she makes the catch for the second out. 2 outs in the 6th. And Madison Chappell will come to the plate. Chappell is 1 for 2. She has singled and flied out. Cavanaugh about to throw her 100th pitch. And it is lined to left center field. Newport won't get there, and it goes towards the fence. Maddox cuts it off. The relay to Hughes, and she'll hold it. It's an RBI double for Chappell, and Limestone has the lead for the first time today at 2-1. As Adkins scores. So Limestone has scored 2 here in the 6th inning. And we will have a pitching change for the Pioneers as Cavanaugh is done. Emily Sappington will return. Third time through the lineup, not good for Cavanaugh as she gave up a triple, a single, and a double. And Limestone has the lead 2-1. So Emily Sappington will come on here in the 6th inning. Of course, Sappington threw the complete game in game number 1. Her 10th win of the season. And they'll have a pinch runner at second base as Aaron Butler went out to second base to run for Chappell. Or did you? So Butler is the runner at second base. And Faye Lawson will bat. Oh, pinch hitter. It's Ruthie Jackson who batted in game 1. And she skies this one to right field. And McGinnis makes the catch for the out, and the inning is over. But not before Limestone takes the lead with 2 runs on 3 hits. There was an error and 1 left on base. Middle of the 6th, Tusculum has to rally. They trail 2-1 on the Pioneer Sports Network. Bottom of the 6th inning, Tusculum trailing 2-1 to Limestone. The Pioneers have left 6 runners on base in the first 4 innings. They had a runner thrown out at the plate. They left 3 runners in scoring position. They figured at some point that would come back to bite them, and it did in the top of the 6th inning as Limestone got 2, and they lead it 2-1. But Anna Alloway will lead off for the Pioneers here in the bottom of the 6th. She's 0 for 1 with a sac fly and a ground out. First pitch to her from Caroline Ruth is fouled away, 1 strike. It'll be Alloway, Suits, and Hughes due up for the Pioneers. Elsewhere, Queens leads Mars Hill 7-5 in the 6th inning in Game 2 as they try and split that doubleheader. Lincoln Memorial 14, Coker 1 in the 4th. The 0-1 pitch is low and in, 1 ball, 1 strike. And Lenore Ryan leads UVA-Wise 4-1 in the 4th inning. Game 2. Anderson has swept Newberry. Carson Newman swept Wingate. 1-1 pitch to Alloway. Skied down the left field line. It is playable. In foul territory is Baker, and she makes the catch for the out. Alloway out on a foul pop-up, 1 down here in the 6th. That is now 7 in a row retired by Caroline Ruth. Alyssa Suits comes to the plate. Suits has flied out and popped up. So Suits stands in. And the first pitch. Bunted, foul, 1 strike. One strike, the count to Alyssa Suits. And time is called as the wind is picking up. The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, 0-2. Ruth coming up on her 100th pitch of the afternoon. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Alyssa Suits. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 6th strikeout for Ruth, 2 outs in the 6th.
Shortstop, number 11, Hannah Hughes.
Hannah Hughes will bat. Hughes has reached base twice. She has walked and singled. First pitch from Ruth to Hughes is taken for a ball, 1-0. One ball and no strikes to count to Hannah Hughes. Swing and a miss, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, the count to Hughes. 1-1 delivery, swing and a miss, 1-2. Kavanaugh seemed to lose it her 3rd time through the order. Ruth, on the other hand, has retired all 6 that she's faced the 3rd time through. And she's ahead of Hughes, a ball and 2 strikes. The pitch, same spot as she's been going, a high fastball, it's 2-2. She's been getting in to chase that riser. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the 6th. Ruth's pitch, line foul, still 2-2. Ruth ready to go with the 2-2 delivery. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Ruth, 7 for the game, and she's retired 9 in a row. We head to the top of the 7th inning in Game 2. It is Limestone 2, Tusculum 1 on the Pioneer Sports Network. Top of the 7th inning, and we'll have a pinch hitter for Limestone, Natalie Ruth. Who was the DP in game 1. She was 0 for 3. And she'll bat for Callaway to start the 7th. Low and outside for a ball, 1-0 against Emily Sappington, who is 10-8 this season, a 197 earned run average, 120 and 2/3 innings, 107 hits, 34 earned runs, 46 walks, and 133 strikeouts for Sappington, who went the distance in the victory in game number 1. The 1-0 pitch, called strike, 1-1. Ruth, Womack, Baker, the due batters here in the 7th. One pitch. Chopper. Hughes isn't going to have a play. That's a base hit for Natalie Ruth. And we'll have another pinch hitter. And maybe a pinch runner, too. Who knows? We don't. Callaway re-enters to run at first base. And the pinch hitter will be Macy Rycroft, sophomore out of East Bend, North Carolina, making her first appearance of the day. She is a .267 hitter, home run, 6 runs batted in.
Pinch hitting for the Saints, number 11, Macy Rackrow.
So Rycroft will bat with Callaway on at first base. Shows bunt. Takes the ball. One ball and no strikes the count to Rycroft. Bunted foul, 1-1. One ball, one strike the count. And she offers to that one. It's 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes the count to Rycroft. Sappington with the 1-2 pitch. Off the plate, 2-2. Two-two pitch, fouled away. That's still 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes to count to Rycroft. Sappington's pitch is in the dirt, blocked by Freischmidt. It's 3-2. 3-2 the count. Sappington's pitch, fouled away. Rycroft making Sappington work. She's thrown. Now, this will be her 8th pitch of the at-bat. Three-two pitch. Fouled away again. Lincoln Memorial leads Coker 16-1 in the 5th inning. And the lead is sufficient enough that Delilah Malcheski's come into pitch. Three-two pitch. Half swing, she went, strike three. One's batted in. So they've got a lot of options. They're sending up pretty good hitters off the bench. You've got a pretty stacked bench here as you look at some of the averages of some of these players who have come in and pinch hit. Limestone hitting .320 as a team. First pitch from Sappington, taken for a ball. One ball and no strikes the count to Thornton. High, 2 balls and no strikes. Lenore Ryan leads UVA Wise 4-2 in the 4th inning. Game 2 of that doubleheader. Wise losing the opener to Lenore Ryan 5-0. Queens up 8-5 on Mars Hill. They're in the 7th inning as Queens tries to salvage a split. 2-0 the count to Thornton. Swing and a miss and a high fastball, 2-1. Tusculum in the bottom of the 7th inning will have the 8, 9, and 1 positions up. Both of those positions have been hit for earlier, so a second pinch hitting appearance would take McGinnis and Bush out of the game. And then top of the order, Maddox. 2-1 pitch. Called strike, 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes to count to Kerrigan Thornton. Beaten foul at the plate. Still 2-2. Two and two the count. The pitch. Fouled away again. Two-two pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Thornton thought the pitch was in the dirt, but it doesn't matter because first base was occupied. There's 2 outs now in the 7th.
Fielder number 6, Ashley Parnell.
Ashley Parnell, the left fielder, will bat. Parnell fouled out and walked and then tied the game in the 6th as she tripled to right center and then scored when the throw in got away. And she circled the bases to tie the game at 1. Limestone would then take a 2-1 lead. Shows bunt, takes a strike. 1 strike to Parnell. Sappington with the 0-1 pitch. Cued back to the circle. Sappington on to first, and that'll do it for the 7th inning. Leadoff single, and that's all for the Saints. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Tusculum needs 1 to tie, and they'll try and do it against Caroline Ruth, trailing 2-1 on the Pioneer Sports Network. Bottom of the 7th inning, Tusculum trailing 2-1. And they will send up a pinch hitter here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. It'll be Ashley Harbison, the junior out of Knoxville, batting for her high school teammate Madison McGinnis. Harbison 4 for 15 at the plate in 12 games, 2 runs batted in. Michaela Bush is still in the on-deck circle. So Harbison batting here to lead off the bottom of the 7th inning. Tusculum trailing 2-1. Caroline Ruth, 6 innings, 3 hits, a run, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, 106 pitches so far. And she has retired 9 in a row. So Harbison will try and get it started here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Bush, and then the top of the order, Maddox to follow. First pitch. Called strike. One strike the count to Harbison. The pitch, she chases that one. It's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Harbison. The pitch, she chases another one, strike 3. Eight strikeouts now for Ruth, and the Pioneers are going to have another pinch hitter. And it'll be Emma Schad. Schad this season, 2 for 12 at the plate with an RBI.
Hitting for the Pioneers, number 17, Emma Schad.
Schad is 1 for 6 as a pinch hitter this year. Harbison was 3 for 8 as a pinch hitter before that last at bat. That'll be it for the pinch hitters for the Pioneers because the top of the order is on deck, Maddox. First pitch to Schad is taken for a ball. Now Bush is out of the game, so she cannot be re-entered. So if Schad reaches, you'll have to dip into your pinch runner pool to try and get some wheels out there. Bounced foul, 1 ball, 1 strike, but she's got to get on base first. 1-1 the count to Emma Schad. Schad, the freshman out of Knoxville. Knox Catholic. 1-1 the count. Ruth's pitch. Beaten foul at the plate off her foot. She'll hobble that one off. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Emma Schad. One and 2 the count. The pitch is high. 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes the count to Emma Schad. Ruth's pitch. Low, 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out here in the 7th. Ruth, 3-2 pitch. Oh, it was outside, but she's chased it for strike 3. Don't want to get called out on strikes. But she expanded the zone there and is down for the second out. 4 straight strikeouts for Ruth, who has 9 strikeouts now in the game. And she has retired 11 in a row. One more big one to get, and that's Maya Maddox. Maddox is 1 for 3. She's hitting .384. If she gets on base, she has 28 stolen bases. No doubt that she'll be trying to bunt or slap her way on base. Taken for a ball, 1-0. Limestone trying to salvage a split of this doubleheader. 1-0 pitch. Taken for a strike, 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike the count to Maya Maddox. Callan Newport, the left fielder, waits on deck. The windup and the 1-1 pitch. Bunted, foul, 1-2. So that likely takes the bunt aspect out of the hands of Maddox here. She doesn't want to risk a bunt foul because that would be strike 3. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the 7th. Ruth's 1-2 pitch. Held her swing, 2-2. Ruth coming up on 120 pitches. Two and 2 the count to Maddox. The pitch. High, 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. 2-1 Limestone. Maddox in full protect mode here. The 3-2 pitch. Popped up, shallow center, and that'll do it as Womack makes the catch. And the ball game is over. Caroline Ruth retired the last 12 she faced, and she gets the victory as Limestone salvages game 2, winning in come from behind fashion by a score of 2-1. Final game totals. For Limestone, they had 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors. They left 5. Tusculum, 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error. They left 6. The winning pitcher is Caroline Ruth. She's 7-2. The losing pitcher, Ireland Kavanaugh, is 8-5. Time of the game was 2 hours and 7 minutes. So Limestone salvages the final game of this doubleheader. They win it 2-1. With the win, Limestone now 25-13. They're 8-10 in the conference. Tusculum 21-16. They are 8-8 in the conference. Elsewhere in the Southland Conference today, Carson Newman swept a doubleheader from Wingate, winning 5-4 and 14-6. Mars Hill and Queens, they are just over. Queens wins game 2 8-7 after losing game 1 3-2. So Queens gets a split of that doubleheader with Mars Hill. Coker and Lincoln Memorial, LMU swept that doubleheader 18-2 and 16-1. And Anderson swept Newberry in their doubleheader, winning by scores of 5-3 and 10-0. And Lenore Ryan leads UVA-Wise 4-2 in the 5th inning as they look for a sweep of that doubleheader. So that'll do it here from Red Edmonds Field. Your final score, Limestone 2, Tusculum 1 after Tusculum wins the opener by a score of 4-1. Complete recap of this one will be available online at TusculumPioneers.com. You can also watch the replay through our webpage as well. For our producer, Aaron Fudge, I'm Jim Miller, your final